And a good evening. It is 6 o'clock and right on cue. My watch just told me I hit all 3 goals for the day. So right on cue here. Welcome to our beautiful weather show, Panhandle Weather Live here at 6 o'clock this evening. I hope you had a wonderful day. Weather-wise, certainly not a lot to complain about, although you probably noticed it's certainly gotten more humid. Isn't that right, Dan?
Yeah, it started to feel a little bit wetter outside, although I don't think it was warm enough necessarily for me to complain about the humidity.
No.
We did walk out towards the sunset about an hour ago, and my hair was showing it. Everything flattened out on top of my head.
Yeah, it's you could definitely tell the uptick in the humidity. You could definitely tell today the onshore wind was more prevalent as well across our area, and that explains the humidity here across northwest Florida.
You know, we could take you back about an hour ago, show you that onshore wind. Of course, this was our drone cam as the sun set. A bit muted for us here over towards Inlet Beach because of the cloud coverage. Actually had some showers offshore as well, Chris, but I think the most noticeable thing for me as we got over the dune there and could see the water was how rough it had become. And I think we'll continue to see that here over the next several days.
Yeah, we've seen yellow flags flying, but it wouldn't surprise me by the end of the week or the weekend if we don't see some red flags flying on our area beaches. Water temperatures into the low 70s right now. But as we look out over into places like Destin tonight, we have some clouds certainly visible overhead, some lower clouds. You can kind of feel that moisture hanging in the air with the low cloudiness. Martha Bridge traffic is looking very nice this evening. No concerns there when it comes to that. Meanwhile, Panama City Beach, this is looking out over at the days in there. Not much light visible there as you look out towards the Gulf. Meanwhile, this is the camera at Wonderworks this evening. Quiet weather. There's the traffic down there, Front Beach Road and Middle Beach Road this evening. Live Doppler radar is quiet right now across our neck of the woods. You see that with live Doppler radar. If you look real carefully, right there, you see that little spritz of rain? That was the one that we were kind of looking at, looking out towards the sunset tonight. You could see with the drone. It wasn't much, I mean, obviously, but it was enough to kind of create that cloud effect low enough to the horizon that we weren't able to sneak in much color tonight. There you see more cloud cover extending out into the Gulf this evening, Gulfward, south of Panama City Beach. High temperatures today, 70s and 80s across our area. It certainly was on the warm side. Right now, temperatures into the 60s and 70s, but with dew point temperatures creeping up thanks to that southerly wind, it's not going to be anywhere near as cold tonight. Look at the temperatures right now, 7, 8, 9, 10 degrees warmer than when we were talking this time last night, and last night temperatures were several degrees warmer at that time as well. Wind speeds across our area, again, you see that onshore flow, still fairly light winds, calm inland, less than 5 miles an hour right along the coastline. One thing I do want you to watch out this evening for overnight, tonight into tomorrow morning, will be the development of some fog across our area. With more on the fog and look at the rest of the forecast, let's go to Dan Nyman.
Yeah, of course, the fog going to be something not only for tonight, but the next several evenings. I think this evening, and then, of course, as you get up out there on Thursday and then Friday morning as well, you could see that decreased visibility, probably starting off a little closer towards the coast. That's where moisture is returning more quickly. But as we get through that sort of repetitive process, it will become more and more noticeable over the next coming 48 hours. Also, we'll see some cloud coverage out there as you get in through the evening hours. And I had some time down towards the coast, but it's kind of just sparse in and around the Panhandle, never becoming full overcast skies. But as we get later and later on towards midnight tonight, could be a little bit more difficult to see that nearly full moon up in the sky. It wasn't hard to see a few moments ago, quite bright down towards the horizon. We'll start off Thursday with clouds offshore, but then as we get in towards the afternoon hours, you see things gradually starting to clear out just a bit. Could see a little sea breeze activity there towards the midday and afternoon hours, just trying to bring more of an onshore wind ashore. You're not seeing any rainfall in the cloud coverage, but you'll start to feel once again a little bit more of an uptick in humidity outside as a result of that. So kind of a mix of cloud coverage and some clear skies out there for the evening hours tonight. Temperatures also notably not as cool outside. You're falling down through the 60s into the mid-50s, about 55 by 4 tomorrow morning, but ultimately your low temperature is a little more manageable once again as we repetitively keep those lows on the warming trend. So we'll do 60s towards the coastline, some mid-50s up across I-10, and as you get out towards the bus stop tomorrow morning, probably still bundling up just a bit. You'll see again a few more clouds covering up the sunshine. It won't take long, though, for the warmth to return across the area. And probably gone, Chris, some of the views that we're seeing right here, the slightly calmer waters out there across the Panhandle. I don't think things are going to be super duper rough with the wind speeds we're expecting, but certainly the glassy, smooth conditions we've been seeing are going to be gone for a little while.
Yeah, that was last night. Our friend David Neal over by the 331 bridge. He had been out doing a little bit of fishing and was heading home, and look at that. Got some friends kind of hanging out there saying, hey, if you got a fish, toss them my way. As we looked out over into the Choctawhatchee Bay last night. Meanwhile, looking over into this was, I think, Walton County from my friend Joey there, showing the full moon last night. And it's pretty full tonight as well. Really kind of splitting. Officially, it was full at like 7:15 this morning. So it's kind of splitting the difference. Last night and tonight should be equally beautiful. Jason Wilson over into Parker there. I see one of the planes coming in for landing there over at Tyndall Air Force Base this evening. Also, we had the paraglider from David Wesley there on Panama City Beach. You can see that sunshine shining out over into the horizon, and some more full moon pictures this evening from Washington County. This one was actually from earlier this morning from Miss Terry. Thank you so much for that. And up into Jackson County, Ben Peters there. Nice shot of the rising full moon looking awfully nice this evening. So some fantastic pictures there. And Dan, not to be outdone, was yourself.
Yeah, things really snuck up on us here this evening. I'm going to put Chris back on full here, but I'll keep talking about what we saw, as that's about 10 feet away from us, walking back from the sunset tonight. He was certainly unbothered by our presence.
No.
And I've grown up around deer. Pretty much every night you see deer in our yard in New Jersey, but they're not as maybe careless about human activity as he was.
He definitely didn't have a care in the world, was just kind of sniffing around, wanting to do a little bit of eating there, but some great pictures from everyone. Don't forget, you can always submit your pictures in the Panhandle Weather app. You can download it for free, iTunes App Store, Google Play Store, and there's a button on there that says submit pictures and videos, and a lot of you have already done so, but we would always appreciate more.
We'll be back in just a few moments. We'll have that full weather forecast coming up for you here. And of course, we're expecting some pretty warm temperatures this weekend. Big cool down next week. We'll talk about just how chilly things will be in a few minutes.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing that keeps us focused.
A habit we never skip to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game? To drown out that self-doubt and support your mental health. Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and your mental health.
Discover the resources that you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
We're proud to bring you the most popular cars in the world, like the stylish Camry and the sporty Corolla. Get award-winning style and 1.99% APR on a new Camry, named the best new model by Kelley Blue Book. Plus, you get 90 days until you make your first payment. Curb appeal comes standard on the new Corolla, designed to wow from the inside out. Get 3.49% APR plus 90 days until your first payment. Panama City Toyota, your Camry and Corolla headquarters.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Your piece of land demands the very best equipment. Kubota equipment. The #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. with professional-grade mowers, versatile sidekick utility vehicles, and compact tractors that get it done right. All backed by unmatched dealer support. Talk to your dealer today to schedule a demo.
Now, from your trusted team of meteorologists at Panhandle Weather, this is your evening forecast update.
And a good evening, a nice and quiet evening across Northwest Florida tonight. Hopefully you're having a wonderful Wednesday, hump day, as the folks like to call it on social media. There you go, a live look out over Sharky's there. You can see the distance kind of illuminated there a little bit thanks to the rising full moon across our area. Plenty of umbrellas that are out, and with temperatures slow to cool, a lot of folks dining outside this evening. Meanwhile, as we look out over across Pineapple Willie's there, no, this is Schooner's camera, and this is looking out towards the Gulf this evening. Got a boat out there offshore. Your forecast headlines, here's what's happening. We are seeing warmer and more humid weather across our region. As we make our way into the weekend, we will see a chance of some showers, maybe a thunderstorm. Best rain chance on Saturday, but far from a washout of a weekend. The coldest weather of the season, it's looking like it's possible, maybe even a freeze as we head into next week. So let's go ahead and get down to business here. Looking at your forecast for the rest of tonight, we'll see temperatures dropping from the 60s down into the 50s. We'll kind of see some passing clouds across our area, but nothing to worry too much about, as we'll continue to see that southerly flow coming in from the Gulf. That will just bring abundant moisture across our area, and I think will lead to the development of some fog, so that's something you're going to have to deal with as you head on into tomorrow morning. So when we look at our winds fairly light. They actually go offshore very briefly overnight, but then watch what happens as we head into your Thursday. Onshore wind develops. That continues to pump in the moisture, and again, that humidity, the frizz factor for the hair is going to be going higher here over the next few days until things can dry out. Low temperatures tonight, 50s inland, 60s down along the coastline. Watch out for the possibility of a dense fog developing as we move through the overnight hours tonight. It quickly goes away, though, tomorrow morning, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. On Thursday, highs will reach near 80 inland, 70s for the beaches. Again, water temperatures are still into the low 70s, so that's going to kind of put a cap on things when it comes to how warm things can get for the beaches. Low temperatures Friday morning, 50s inland, and well up into the 60s down along the coastline. More of the same on Friday. Highs near 80 inland, 70s down along the coastline. Risk of severe weather across the parts of the mid-south as we head into Friday. That's all part of our next weather maker. Won't have near the impact across our neck of the woods, but it could bring some severe weather from the Ohio River Valley all the way down in parts of Mississippi and even central and southern parts of Alabama. With more on that, we go to meteorologist Dan Nyman.
Yeah, we're getting into that time of year now as we get closer in towards winter, even the backside of fall here. We do see that second severe weather season take shape across mostly areas to the west of the Panhandle. But of course, for us, we could see at least some spotty rain chances back inside of the forecast as we get towards Saturday and Sunday. Certainly nothing to cancel plans over as we see this parade of fronts continue from the northwest down towards the southeast. And the return of moisture evident, of course, with the extra cloud coverage out there. Look across I-65 through Alabama, stretching into southern Mississippi. You do have some light showers stretching through as well. They're very isolated, though, in nature, which is exactly what we expect for any sort of rain chance heading in towards the weekend. Sure, you're not going to see as much sunshine as we've seen in the past few days over the course of Saturday and Sunday, although you will still have some sunshine poking on through it. Then briefly, if you're lucky, you get a quick passing shower. All of these, look at the size, lasting maybe 15 minutes. But they do move quickly on through, and as you get through Saturday afternoon into the evening, maybe some heavier rainfall down towards the coast. Model's been off and on for that. I certainly wouldn't put any of this into concrete. It would certainly be something that'll change several times as we get closer towards the weekend. But ultimately, the idea is an opportunity for maybe a few hundredths to a tenth of an inch of rainfall for those fortunate to see it. Not everybody, though, will see the rainfall. Once that front passes through, here's the clearing skies in behind it. Clear skies, though, of course, also signaling a change in the air mass. So once we get through that rainfall across parts of the area, you will certainly notice a difference in feel. The clear skies also helping us find some of the coolest temperatures we've seen, especially in the morning hours. By the time we get to Tuesday morning, Wednesday as well. It doesn't look like a long duration cool down, but certainly one you will notice. Your pattern right now, a very west to east or zonal flow you see stretching from the west coast towards the east coast. Not right for any weather making sort of systems, but eventually you'll see a trough dig down towards the south, and that'll provide some elevated lift as we get through Thursday, especially into Friday. There you see that first dip in the jet stream, and then the bigger one coming behind it. That's the second front that you saw on the Futurecast, that one taps into a much cooler air mass and temperatures plummet as we start to pull in from Canada and funnel that air down towards the Gulf Coast. So your temperature trend from the mid to upper 70s to 80s in inland spots very quickly down into the 50s for Monday and Tuesday. But notice it's not that long before we see temperatures back rising once again, and that'll be most notable towards the low temperature department, where Tuesday morning right here, probably your coldest temperatures. And of course, Chris, I posted earlier today, we normally see our first freeze towards the mid to end of November, so we're 1 to 2 weeks ahead of schedule right now.
Yeah.
Some real cool feels coming for us here next week.
If the beaches freeze, it's typically into December before we see a beach freeze, and some winters we don't see a freeze at all. So we're going to be flirting with it for sure, but I think all the way down to the coastline, there'll be that risk of frost. So the growing season is going down. You have been warned to get ready to prepare to cover up those plants a little bit earlier this year.
A lot of Sunday will be spent moving those temperature-sensitive plants inside, or at least covering them up as those temperatures cool down. And
you got it, honey?
Putting her to work.
That's under her duties.
Either way, it's going to be a definitely noticeable sort of shock for us here. And as we mentioned, Chris, here, I'll pull that up full screen for us. That first freeze normally coming sometime around the late part of November for us, but I looked at some of the statistics from the airports that do have climate data. Apalachicola, Destin are two primarily coastal spots that have historical averages baked into them. Don't hit freezing that often. It's about 20% or so of the years you actually see temperatures below 32. And by Destin's standards, it's normally after the new year. I don't think it'll freeze this time around, but it's certainly a sign maybe of things to come.
Yeah. Yeah, if you look down, looking a little bit closer here, you can see those dates. Again, typically you're getting into that after December 1st time frame that we'll be looking at that freeze. But up across the Wiregrass, you're looking at typically the second half of November. So things are beginning to, the seasons are changing, and they're changing quickly. Now, we're not going to get much rain out of this. As a matter of fact, when you look at the next 7 days, we do see rain chances on 3 of them, but 2 of them aren't very high, and then the third one's not overly impressive. Saturday's going to bring you your best chance of some showers and thunderstorms, and then there's that big cool down. But as Dan said, it's kind of 2 days, 2.5 days, and done, and then whoosh, temperature is going to be soaring back up. Look at the inland temperatures. 80s for the next few days. Similar story Saturday, the bullseye for our best chance of rainfall, but far from a washout of a day. Then we'll see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the cold weather there Monday, Tuesday, and then a little bit of a warm up there as we head into your Wednesday.
Some other big news, though, in the Smith household.
Yes.
She's just dying to be on camera tonight.
Come tell everyone. Okay. Tell everyone. Breaking news. What happened?
At school, I was trying to get my tooth out, and also I just been pulling on it. Kept bleeding at the grocery store. When I got home and I ate 1 apple, then I ate 2. It held and it falled out.
What falled out?
My tooth.
Your tooth. So what are we gonna do tonight?
Put it under my pillow.
Under your pillow. And hope that, what? Who's going to come tonight?
Tooth Fairy.
Tooth Fairy. Awesome.
Uncle Dan heard the Tooth Fairy's been impacted by inflation.
Give everyone a big smile. Show them how few teeth you have. Applesauce and ice cream is all we can have in the Smith household. Congratulations.
Yeah.
I miss the days of being excited about the teeth falling out.
Yeah, it's forever for us if our teeth start falling out.
That was back when things would happen to you and money would come in. Now it's like, oh, let's go check the mailbox. Just bills.
Money going out. Bills. Exactly.
Yeah, all you see is the red every month. But either way, that's going to do it for us here tonight. And Lila, if you want to wave one last goodbye, of course. We'll keep you updated on the forecast tomorrow night, Friday night as well. If anything pops up this weekend, we'll be here too for an update on the forecast. Nothing serious here in the Panhandle Weather Studios, but if anything does serious happen, we'll be here to keep you updated. Thanks for stopping by this evening. We will see you again same time tomorrow night, or of course, Chris, on the channel as well.
Yeah. Thank you, Josie, Kim, Shannon. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow.